Fellow Biafrans, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depends on your time zone this moment. I found it imperative to update Biafrans what is going on in Nigeria. We cannot deny the fact that we are still in Nigeria, that Biafra have not been completely exited or separated from Nigeria. So for this reason, I found it necessary to let my people know their left from their right, because many Biafrans, many Igbos, they did not understand actually what we are doing and what we are saying. And when you are talking, they say you are making noise and you talk too much. Let me tell you something. As many as complaints that we talk too much, our talking too much is what is needed this moment. If we refuse to talk too much and refuse to walk too much and refuse to fight too much, refuse to challenge our detractors too much, refuse to amend ourselves too much, if we refuse, to segregate and separate ourselves too much from Nigeria, then you discover that Biafra land will not have anything to write home about. And for this reason, Biafrans are created with destiny, endowed with great opportunities and mineral resources, which cannot be disputed. What is going on in Nigeria today have attracted the attentions of the international community, because it is an unusual thing that's supposed not to be, as Nigerian politicians have useless Nigeria country and make it ineffective, and at the same time rubbish every good idea and push every good thing under the carpet. They swept the truth under the carpet. Nobody is saying the truth, and nobody is willing to say the truth amongst the Nigerian politicians. They are all together one, and they are doing one thing, and that one thing is what seems right to them. But that thing that seems right to them is against the wish of the population of Nigeria, or the citizens of Nigeria. Nigerian politicians have been working against Nigerian citizens, either directly or indirectly. But I want to believe that whatever you are doing, one day your cup shall full. And I believe so much that the cup of Nigerian politicians have filled to the brim. Don't forget the language that Tinubu used to enter Asa Rock. It wasn't a good language. It's a language of hatred. It's a language of war. It's a language of destruction. It's a language of starvation. It's a language of brutalization. It's a language of sacrilege. I want to tell you that since it is not genuine, it will never be genuine, because the destruction starts from the head. Tinubu is the one that has now finally disorganized, destroyed, and disintegrated Nigeria. Listen and listen carefully. There was no a time since the since Nigeria was amalgamated, or since Nigeria was formed by Lugard, There was no a time Nigerians passed through the kind hurdles and the thistles and thorns that they are going through today. That the prices of commodities have skyrocketed today, that a common person in the street cannot be able to afford a square meal. And the center table have turned against the middle class of people. That when you look into your pocket, bank is no go area, so you discover that you have nothing to feed your family, not to eat. And this have given many who are reasonable food for thought. Which one will you talk and leave the other one? Economy have kissed the sky. I mean, poverty have kissed the sky in Nigeria. So to say that even a baby in the womb is trying to minimize the way he or she eats, as the mother cannot be able to feed properly today in Nigeria. Listen to me. This is a word of wisdom coming to you from Biafra Universal TV. This moment, we are releasing the news undiluted. Listen to what is going on in Nigeria today because of no money, no food, acute malnutrition, no job, no light, no road. Virtually, Nigeria is not even stagnant. Nigeria is completely destroyed. That when you look into what I'm saying now properly, you will congratulate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Mazen Simon Ekpa and I personally. So, because we are making every effort to see how we can completely remove Biafrans from Nigeria so that Biafrans, their destinies can be fulfilled. And I want to believe that this is destiny time. Could you believe that the Chief Defense Staff of Nigeria, Christopher Musa, opened his mouth and said that there is nothing they can do about Nigeria insecurity? Let's look at the insecurity properly. If the Nigeria Army Chief Defense Staff can open his mouth and tell you that there is nothing they can do about insecurity in Nigeria, that militaries are not magicians to be everywhere at the same time, this should give you food for thought. You have to go down memory lane and ask yourself, what are the soldiers, the police, the DSS, what are they for in Nigeria, the security forces of Nigeria? What are they then doing? Now you can see that there is a proper plan from the head that have been validated now, that Nigerian citizens are not free from death any moment. It can meet you anywhere. It can be anywhere suddenly. Then you will say your last prayer and join those who have gone. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, as it stands this day, the Nigerian security forces were there and they are being paid every month, giving their allowances and everything, and they cannot protect one person in Nigeria. What a shame. And this tells you that Nigeria security forces have failed, and at the same time, they have conceded defeat to Fulani Mieti Allah terrorists. On the other hand, I want to inform you, when you secretly look into this matter of confession, that there's nothing they can do about insecurity, because they are not invisible, they are visible. Now, this will give you an idea that this is a scheduled plan, or call it an arrangement of Islamic religion to take over Nigeria state, to Islamize Nigeria completely, Fulanize Nigeria completely, which the Islamic State have started existing in the north, raising their flags, and the northerners are being paid their taxes to Fulani Mieti Allah terrorists. So what I'm saying this moment may look strange to you, may look disturbing to you. You may not like to hear it, but anyhow it is. Bible says that judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Anyhow you look at it, truth cannot be disputed, and truth will never die, and truth can never be hidden. As I'm talking to you now, I am informing you that all the stakeholders in Nigeria have had a meeting, and what they are discussing in that their meeting is what? LGBTQ. And that is lesbianism and homosexualism. Now, you are talking of lesbianism to enact the law to fully, enact the lesbianism and homosexualism in Nigeria. But Nigerian citizens are dying of hunger, starvation, no job, nothing. And this is what you are discussing in the Nigeria House of Parliament in Asarok in Abuja. And it impresses your mind and it makes you happy to discuss such dirty issue. My beloved ones, I want to tell you that there is a sign that if you see, you will know that the end have come. The end of Nigeria have come, because not this way that Nigeria can move forward anymore. The militaries are terrorists. The Nigerian security forces are terrorists. They have emerged with terrorists because Nigeria government said, if you cannot beat them, you have to join them. So Nigeria security forces cannot beat Fulani Mieti Allah terrorists, and this is why they have succumbed and they have decided to join them in their dastard act of committing genocide. So without wasting your time, this moment, just follow me serially. You must gather the informations that will help you to convey you to where you are going to. Nigeria is not a destination for anyone. And whosoever that is believing in Nigeria have lost. Because in Nigeria, there is no hope. No hope of survival, no hope of recovery, no hope of food on the table. The manipulators who have made it Tinubu to enter Asarok are still the people who are manipulating the whole thing today. I'm telling you that Tinubu is being tied hands and foot. There's nothing Tinubu can do. And Tinubu never have goodwill for Nigerians. What I'm telling you should make sense to you. For over 1 year now, Tinubu assumed office. You cannot bring out one thing to say that this is what the government of Tinubu have achieved in Nigeria. Listen and listen good. Running away will not solve this problem, because I discover that the youths of Nigeria or Nigerians or Nigerian are running away because they don't want to die. There is a situation you found yourself, you will prefer to die than to live. What I'm saying this moment should make sense to you that the very condition that Nigeria found themselves is not going to help Nigerian youths tomorrow, because many people are dying not of sickness but of hunger. Today, I want to tell you what happened in Kenya. The president of Kenya, that is Williams, he started his own, and this brought about mass protests in Kenya. And today, Ruto Williams wanted peace to return to Kenya because he used force with military and police to be shooting people, killing people, injured. Many people were injured and many people were killed in the process of that protest. And as the whole world look into that matter and condemn the government of Kenya, that is the president of Kenya. When you talk of government of Kenya, you are talking of the president of Kenya. So now he comes back to make peace with the citizens of Kenya. But the result was negative. As I'm talking with you now, Kenya citizens have given Ruto Williams ultimatum to resign because of incompetence and negligence. So also, what is happening in Kenya is applicable to Nigeria. It's more repugnant in Nigeria. But what I'm telling the people of Nigeria or the youth of Nigeria is that they should understand that without the means of force, they cannot be alleviated from this impoverishment and idiotic government. What I'm telling you this moment is that the good people of Kenya are now requesting for Ruto Williams to completely do what? Resign, get out of the office. Because since he entered, things have become very much worse. And so also it is repugnant to Nigeria government, so-called Tinubu, who didn't win the election from the first place, but they decided because this is religious exercise. Nigeria politics is a religious exercise. And they selected themselves. Just look at it. If you are not 70 years and above, don't talk about any political position in Nigeria. And you see them, you can see that these are gangs of criminals. Now, you see, Aloysius Akpabio is the Senate President of Nigeria. But remember that Akpabio ruled his state for 8 years and he didn't achieve anything. So also he became a minister of Niger Delta. So which nothing good come out of him. And today Tinubu went and brought him to become the Senate President of Nigeria. This gives you an idea that birds of the same feather flocks together. Tinubu just embezzled $60-something billion. He went and borrowed secretly from another country. So what did he do with it? Nothing. And this is why I'm telling you that the poorest man in Nigeria is richer than Tinubu. But you people said Tinubu owns half of Lagos. Is it through this stealing method? Through this robbery, pen robbery, then he makes the money and own half of the Lagos. I want Nigerian youths to think and rethink I want Biafran's youth to rethink and think, because where a fool is being chastised, that is where the wise learns. Igbo politicians have nothing to write home about. See Anyim Pius Anyim. For the period he was in Aso Rock as Senate President of Nigeria, he did not accomplish anything for the village or for the community where he come from or for Nigeria at all. So everyone who is coming to contest for any position in Nigeria is coming to take what does not belong to him or her and go. All right? Nobody is coming to give anything to Nigeria. Nobody, no Nigerian politician that is coming into politics or to contest for any office to give Nigeria any good thing, but rather all of them comes to take every good thing out of Nigeria. Listen and listen good. Akpabio have made it clear that the important thing so far that's supposed to be looked into is the private jet of Tinubu. That Tinubu's private jet is more important than Nigerian citizens. Tinubu's private jet is more important than over 300 million of Nigerian citizens. So, and that is what they are supposed to be discussing. And that is what they're supposed to discuss about Tinubu's private jet. Fellow Biafrans, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that Biafra and the Biafrans are not in the account of Nigeria government. So that you will stop whiling away time and deceiving yourself and continue praying and fasting in the church. After 7 days, 6 to 6 fasting, you enter dry fasting 14 days, you enter night fasting 21 days, you pray and fast day and night for 40 years, for 40 days. This is just because you lack knowledge, you lack wisdom of what is going on in the country where you are living. If you have wisdom, you will not be going through those rigorous and hard processes in order for you to get a job, in order for you to have something reasonable doing, in order for you to see food to eat. Because why? You went to school, you graduated with your certificate, and what have you. So why should you be passing through those twists and turns in order to make yourself and your family happy? So now, as people are dying without a conscience by the Nigeria federal government, what is important to him is private jet. And this is why I'm asking those who said Tinubu owe half of Lagos. Why is it so that Tinubu did not buy the private jet before he became the governor of Lagos State? Why is it so that Tinubu was not assessed before he became the impostor of Nigeria head of state? Why is it so that Tinubu did not come to Aso Rock with his private jet? When will the Nigerians learn? When will they get up? When will they sit up? Did you know that without the protest, heavy protest that rocks Kenya, that Ruto Williams will believe that he is on top of the world and what he is doing is the best, and nobody have right to control him, to command him, to tell him what to do and what not to do. And that is what is happening in Nigeria. All the Nigerian politicians are above the law. Nobody want to listen to the law. Nobody want to listen to anybody. All the politicians emerged together, and it's what they decide, it's what they do. Because they believe that the indigenous people of Nigeria have nothing to offer. And nobody can do them anything. There is nothing like impeachment in Nigeria. There's nothing like warning in Nigeria. The issue there is that Nigeria is an animal kingdom, so which they gather together of different kind of species of animals and put them together in one cage. And what they are doing is whatever they like. Some are naked jumping, some didn't brush their teeth, some don't even have eyes, they are blind, some are dumb and deaf, some are crippled, some are limping. So then there is nothing you are saying anyone will listen to you, because there is no law, there is no check, no balance, no judiciary, nothing. And I'm telling you that it is not today that Nigeria died. So amongst the stakeholders in Nigeria, you want to conclude or draw conclusion that none of them have conscience to say that this is evil being perpetrated on the good citizens of Nigeria. So for this reason, we don't agree and we will not allow it to be so, because the poor masses give us their votes and mandates to make sure that they are being protected and provided with what to eat and drink. But today, reverse is the case. That those people that gave you their mandates and voted for you inside the sun and rain are today being abused mentally. And many have suffered the traumatic effect of this government, or call it a non-entity government, and they died because there's nothing they can do. They believe that their all hope is gone. And since Tinubu cannot help them, there's nothing they can do. Some have decided to take their lives into their hands, and some have decided to just live anyhow life until the day he or she will meet his death. So looking at or listening to Aloysius Akpabio, the Senate President of Nigeria, you will discover that none of them that have Nigeria, progress at heart. All of them you are seeing, their teeth are white, but their hearts are charcoal. You may say, I should talk what concerns me, and I don't know what that you feel like that concerns me, and the one that doesn't concern me. Since I'm still in Nigeria, in Biafra land, because Nigeria have not divided for Biafrans to go, so I have a say, and I must say it because it is right. Heavy protest is coming up in Nigeria any moment from now. Don't forget this. And before the protest it comes up by Sowore, so you will discover that Yorubas and Hausas have started blaming Igbo people for the protest that is about to come up. And this was why I said in my previous video yesterday, as an Igbo man, as a Biafran, I wouldn't want any Biafran to die because of the issue of Nigeria. So for this reason, when they are conducting their protests and whatever they are doing, try to absentee yourself. Don't join them, because Igbos are being hated in Nigeria. Biafrans are being hated in Nigeria. You will be there, you say you are protesting. Either they kill you or they have bypassed you to go and set your houses ablaze, your father's compound ablaze, kill the old men and women, because there is nothing you will not see in Nigeria. So, my dear listeners, as it will interest you to know that Nigeria is no more conducive for anyone who is reasonable to continue living there. I can tell you quickly that some couples decided to sell their daughter who is 18 years old, because of what? No means to eat. Nothing is working. So they decided to sell their daughter of 18 years, 4 million naira. And why are they selling their daughter 4 million naira? They want to leave Nigeria. They want to move to another country for greener pasture. Now, when you are hearing this kind of news, when you are seeing this kind of event, when all this kind of thing is happening, what does your mind tell you? Because our mind talks to us. If it has gotten to this point, then which way Nigeria? Where is road to Nigeria? Parents have started selling their children, and the police arrested them, and the police arrested those couples. So now what are you going to tell them, and what are you going to do to them? They are being marginalized, they are being frustrated, they are being suffocated, and every crane and corner is intricated and obfuscated for them. I'm not supporting the act of selling their daughter. I'm not interested in such business. I'm not supporting it. But that thing that made them to do that, I believe there are some people who are doing their own secretly. Police doesn't know and nobody knows. But people who are laughing, the person that his teeth exposed and people saw his teeth is the one that laughed highest. There are people who have done more than selling their daughters in order to survive in Nigeria. And still, they couldn't make it. They didn't survive. Now you are selling your daughter. Is your daughter a cow? Is your daughter a goat? You born this daughter, you appreciated this daughter, you thank God for giving you this daughter, and the only thing you could do out of frustration is to sell your daughter. Nigeria government, where are you? Because if it's from the mind of the man to sell his daughter, I believe that immediately he burned his daughter, he would have used the daughter for ritual to make money. Isn't it? But you allow the child, probably in university or finishing secondary school, or as the case may be, there is not even money for the lady, because it's now a lady, 18 years, to continue her education. And the lady may not know that she has been sold by her parents. So when you look at these issues, you will see that it's very irritating. It's very bad. It cannot be condoned because it doesn't have a human face. And the cause is Nigeria government. Because if Nigeria is working, such a thought will not come. And nobody that is normal will like to sell his daughter or his son. So, my brothers and sisters, like I told you, refrain and restrain from anything that has to do with Nigeria politics and protests. Hold yourself. Don't allow them to use you as an scapegoat. Because allegations have started coming from Yoruba land and from North that it was Igbos that are causing the protest that is coming up now nationwide. Without anything yet happening, Igbos are being blamed. Biafrans are being blamed. So if you know what is good for you, as they are protesting, sit down in your house. Because you Igbos are not the ones who started talking about to protest. Igbos were not complaining because why? They have not been eating Nigeria resources. They have not been eating Nigeria money. They have not been stealing Nigeria money. It's those who have been stealing Nigeria money and eating it as if there is no tomorrow. Because they didn't labor for it. Anyhow it is, the money is flowing into their pockets. And many of them have oil well. They bury the pipe from Niger Delta to Katsina, from Niger Delta to Sokoto, from Niger Delta to, their own compound, having oil well. All right. So, but this oil, crude oil, comes from Biafra land. So I can quickly tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa is on a serious and powerful course to make sure that Biafra restoration is completed. So, ladies and gentlemen, Biafrans all over the world, as you are listening to me this moment, don't take it for granted. Because if you take it for granted, it will take you for gratitude. Try to understand that you have nobody to help you in Nigeria. Try to understand that anything you didn't do for yourself, nobody will do it for you. So for this reason, stand firm and be resolute. Run away from evil. Don't kill, don't steal, and don't cheat. Because night has fast spent. We are expecting morning time. Bible said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So as it stands now, I'm here to revise your mind from that place you are heading to join Nigeria protest, to join Nigeria government, to join evil that are being demonstrated in Nigeria. Come back. Because your own is always visible and bad. They spot you out. and kill you. They will spot you out and kill you. So, come back. So, what I'm saying now is this. Wherever you are listening to me, you have seen how Nigeria is going. You have heard how Nigeria is going. And I think the only solution now for everyone that have conscience in Nigeria is to make sure that Nigeria disintegrates. Let Nigeria be divided and let everyone go his way. So to avoid shedding of blood and killings of innocent people on daily basis, because those who have been killed will not come back. As Nigerian military terrorists have conceded defeat to terrorists, they have yielded to terrorists, to Fulanis. You can see it now that totally the whole commanders and generals in all the military barracks in Nigeria are nothing, and they are doing nothing. Because now they have agreed that Fulani terrorists are more sophisticated, more skilled, and more powerful, more stronger than Nigeria militaries. And if this is the case, I must say from my own angle, let all the Nigerian military terrorists resign so that the competent hands can be recruited immediately. Because we have come to discover that the ones that are standing there now as a figurehead are not there to save anybody, but they are there to join terrorists, to kill everybody in Nigeria. And Tinubu have nothing absolutely to offer. Until this world comes to an end, let me sound it as a warning. No Nigerian person that will make any profit out of Tinubu, because Tinubu did not struggle to become a president. Tinubu did not win a president. Tinubu is not eligible to be a president, is not competent to be a president. I'm telling you now that Nigeria is naked, as Nigeria have no president, Nigeria have no vice president, Nigeria have no senate president, Nigeria have no chief judge, Nigeria have no judiciary, Nigeria have no constitutional immunity. So you must understand that a nation like this is completely frozen and is heading to doom. Therefore, you who is listening to me, make up your mind before Nigeria will be doomed that you are completely exonerated and emancipated from Sokoto Caliphate mentality. Because all their efforts and aim is to make sure that every one of Nigerian citizens bow down to Sokoto Caliphate for proper Islamization. Which you know that the populations of Christians in Nigeria dominated that of Muslims. And this is where they are finding it difficult, because I cannot give up my faith. I'm a Christian, and that is what I am. A spiritual man, a man of God, a man of truth, a man of war at the same time. I am a warlord. Because even when you go to the Bible, you see that even Israelites, who are the firstborn of the Almighty God, they have generals, they have colonels, captains, and many more. So it is not a crime for me to become a general it is written in the Bible. And the cause of the Almighty God is what I'm running. So, fellow Biafrans, join me and let us fight for our own. Let us fight for Biafra nation. Let us fight for our brothers and sisters, our dear mothers and beloved fathers who loves us so much and have trained us to this stage. We cannot watch them dead by the hands of the invaders who want to steal the land of Biafra by all means. And before I wrap up this moment, I want to make you to understand whether those people, those saboteurs from Igbo land who call themselves politicians, likes it or not, there will be inevitable retribution. They must pass through the right channel, since there is no conscience in them. So, what I'm telling you this moment, whatever you sow, you shall reap. They shall reap all the evil they've committed. But I want to say, those who fix Tinubu like a tire on a vehicle are the people who are holding him now on the throat. And that is what we call Nigeria cabal. Fulanis are using the stick they are using on cows and cattle on Tinubu and the Nigerians. Now, you may think that Tinubu is the one ruling Nigeria. Tinubu is not ruling Nigeria. Tinubu is a figurehead. Tinubu is like a crab, tied hands and foot. So he cannot move forward, he cannot go backward. And that was their target for voting for Tinubu or forcing Tinubu to become the president of Nigeria, because he's the one they can be able to control. And wherever they tell him to sit down, he will sit down. When they tell him to shut up, he will shut up. That is Fulani Cabal in Aso Rock. So, Buhari is still intact in Aso Rock, if you don't know. But the only thing that will decongest Buhari out of Nigeria and his kinsmen is Nigeria disintegration. Biafrans shall leave Nigeria either by force or in peace, because Bible said right from the time of John the Baptist, heaven suffer violence, and violent men take it by force. So kingdom is not given, kingdom is taken. And whosoever that is willing to take a kingdom must stand up and prepare and determine either life or death. I must have myself free. That is self-determination. So you must determine that whatever it is going to take you, you are going to do it to be free from your tax masters. And this is what we are doing now, without looking back. And what is unveiling now is giving us an idea to other things to know how to go about them. I'm not here to leak any secret of anything concerning Biafra or Biafrans agitation for you. But I'm here telling you what is going on in Nigeria and how Biafrans can prepare themselves to overcome the bastardization of Nigeria and the humiliation and frustration that the indigenous people of Nigeria or citizens of Nigeria are going through. I'm here to proffer solution to it. And that solution finally is divide Nigeria and let the Biafrans go. Thank you.